Bionic Brain 101 exercises for your brain. This is your brain fitness center. It is designed to give your mental muscles a good workout. You choose how you use this section according to what you want to achieve. You can work through the whole section from start to finish or concentrate on those sections that interest you. It is entirely up to you. For some of the exercises, you'll need a way to time yourself. A kitchen timer or any timer with an alarm is ideal, since it alerts you when the time is up without you needing to keep checking a watch or a clock. Take care not to overdo it. Mental exercise can exhaust you without you realizing it. If you get a headache, stop and take a break. Work at your own pace and build up your mental strength and stamina as you go along. These exercises are enormously powerful, and you may feel some of the brain boosting benefits instantly as your brain becomes more alive. If practiced regularly, these exercises could have a dramatic effect on your brain power and your life. You may want to dip into section 7, mind power, right away, as it is packed with simple exercises that will boost brain function and are fun to do. You can do them anytime, anywhere, whenever you have a spare moment. Or you may prefer to tackle the more detailed challenges for concentration, section 1, memory, section 2, problem solving, section 3, communication, section 4, creativity, section 5, and reaction time, section 6 first. When you have finished, check your answers in the back of the book, but don't cheat. Give all the exercises a try first. You'll be surprised what you can achieve if you stick with it. So put on your thinking cap, get started, impress your friends and family, and have some fun at the same time. Section 1, concentration. Concentration is good brain exercise. Brain scan images show that there are immediate increases in blood flow whenever the mind is stimulated. This stimulation encourages the growth, density, and efficiency of all the important axons and dendrites, the dense tree-like branches that link the brain cells. A focused mind is a powerful mind. Improving your ability to concentrate helps you avoid the problems, disappointments, and misunderstandings that occur when you can't keep your mind on the job. In short, better concentration makes your life easier. This section deals with breathing exercises, deep relaxation, concentration, and visualization. It will help you focus better, improve your existing mental powers, and discover others you didn't even know you had. Before you start, check your powers of concentration as they are at the moment. If you answer yes to more than 3 of the following questions, you should pay special attention to this section. Are you easily distracted from the task at hand? Do you find it hard to play games that demand intense concentration, such as chess? Do you find it hard to unwind at the end of the day? Does your mind often wander? Do you often miss deadlines? Do you prefer doing rather than thinking? Do you find studying or working from home more particularly hard? Do you spend more than 2 hours a day watching television? Does your brain often feel foggy, as though you can't think clearly? Do you find it hard to spend time on your own? To get maximum benefit from the following exercises, choose a time when you are unlikely to be disturbed. For example, you could do them when the rest of the family is out of the house and you have some time on your own. Then switch on the answering machine, switch off your mobile phone, and relax. Number 1. Focus on your breath. Aim is to help you improve your mental focus using a simple breathing technique. Focusing on the breath is one of the most widely used and effective techniques to aid meditation. Task: close your eyes and breathe deeply and regularly, as follows. Inhale through your nose slowly and deeply, feeling your lower chest and abdomen inflate like a balloon. Hold on for 5 seconds. Exhale deeply, deflating your lower chest and abdomen like a balloon. Hold for 5 seconds. Focus your full mind on your breath as it flows in and out of your body. Give your full attention to the breath as it comes in and full attention to the breath as it goes out. Whenever you find your attention wandering away from your breath, gently pull it back to the rising and falling of your chest. Do this for about 5 minutes and then allow your breathing to return to its normal rhythm. Number 2, change your mood. Aim is to use simple distraction techniques to alter your emotional state. Your thoughts and feelings, just like your intelligence, are not set in stone. You have the power to change them. Negative thoughts, worries, and fears can often interfere with concentration. But it is possible to change the way you feel, just as it is possible to enhance your mind using simple techniques so you can counter negative emotions too. Task: the next time you are feeling low, take a shower, change your clothes, or tidy up your office. Go for a brisk walk or dance to music. If you are at home, vacuum the living room, open a window, or change the sheets. As you do these simple activities, imagine that your worries are written down on separate sheets of paper. Mentally pick up each sheet, rip it up, and throw it away. Change your focus to all that is good about your life. Think about what makes your life great. If you found this exercise helpful, use it every day to ensure that you always get out of bed on the right side. First thing in the morning, lie in bed or sit in comfortable position and concentrate on the positive mood you want to create for the day ahead. If it didn't work for you, perhaps you just need to let yourself be for a while. For example, if you have experienced a loss of some kind, you may need to have a good long cry. If you feel frustrated or angry, you might need to rant and rap to get it out of your system. The important point is to let yourself feel it. Even if it really hurts, a bad attitude is usually the result of suppressed feelings, and those feelings will interfere with your concentration until you can find ways to release them. Number 3, figment of your imagination. Aim is to improve your ability to focus by means of simple visualization techniques. Task 1. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and imagine as vividly as you can a cup of tea, coffee, or hot chocolate set on a table in front of you. Now reach out your hand and imagine picking it up. It's a large cup, the kind you get in coffee shops with a matching saucer. Imagine feeling the hardness of the cup, the weight as you lift it up, and how it pulls on your fingers. Imagine bringing the cup to your lips and see how it looks as it moves and tilts towards you. Did you feel like having a cup of tea after you did this? If you manage this exercise without any difficulty, try this one. It looks simple, but unless you stay completely focused, you won't be able to do it. Task number 2. Take an actual fruit, an apple for example, and really study it. Concentrate all your attention on it and examine it from all directions. Devote the whole session to concentration on it. Do not be carried away by any irrelevant thoughts that may arise. Stay with the fruit. Just look at it, see it, smell it, and touch it, and don't think about anything else. Helpful hint: to be successful at visualization, you need to pay attention to details and incorporate all your senses: smell, sound, taste, and touch, as well as sight. You might like to try the following technique too. It will require all your powers of observation. Task number 3. Choose any book, open it at random, and count the words in a single paragraph. Count them again to be sure that you have counted them correctly. Start with just the one paragraph, and when the task becomes easy, count the words on a whole page. Perform the counting mentally and only with your eyes, without pointing your finger at each word. This sounds easy, but it requires your full attention and all your powers of concentration. Have a go and find out. If you found this exercise difficult, you may have more success with the next time. Number 4. Know your ABCs. Aim is to test your knowledge of the alphabet and enhance your powers of concentration at the same time. Task: pick out individual letters from the rows of letters according to the following rules. In the first line, pick out letters that are next to each other in the alphabet. For example, A, B, F, G, S, T. In the second line, pick out letters that have 2 letters between them in the alphabet. For example, A, D, FITW. In the third line, pick out letters that have 3 letters between them in the alphabet. For example, BF, MQ, RV. You can use the same letter twice. You've got 3 minutes. How many pairs of letters can you get? If you found around 15 pairs in total, you are doing well. Keep trying to find the other pairs. You'll find this exercise helps you get a lot more out of crossword puzzles and word search puzzles. If you haven't done a crossword puzzle before, don't jump straight in with the New York Times crossword. Start with something easy and gradually build up to higher levels. If you found fewer than 10 pairs in total, it is worthwhile putting in a little more practice. It will really help your powers of concentration, but this time before you begin, still your mind with some of the meditation exercises shown earlier and see if you can improve your score. Number 5. Watching the clock. Aim is to enhance your ability to keep your mind completely focused by concentrating on one thing. Task. Take an analog clock, one with a second or sweep hand, and put it in front of you so you can clearly read it. And wait until the second hand arrives at 12. Now focus all your thoughts on the movement of that second hand. If one thought interferes with your concentration, stop the exercise and wait until the hand is at 12 and then start again. Aim to focus on the second hand for just 5 seconds at first and slowly increase. Once you can do this exercise for a few seconds, try to build up to 30 seconds. If you are distracted by restless thoughts, count the seconds in your mind as you follow the hand. With practice, you should arrive at the point where your mind is totally focused on the moving hand and nothing else. Helpful hint before trying this, it may help to do the deep breathing exercise to calm your mind. Do the watching the clock exercise every day, little by little, until you improve. You will find it gets easier with practice. Number 6. Mantra. Just say Om. Aim is to enhance your powers of concentration using classical meditation. Whether spoken or not, words and sounds create vibration that can be used in meditation. Task 1. Close your eyes and breathe deeply and regularly. Focus on a word or phrase that has meaning to you. It could be a mantra, a name, a relaxing sound such as Om, or a concept that has special power or significance for you. Repeat the word in your mind with each exhalation. If your mind wanders, gently return it to focus on the word as you repeat it with each breath. If you manage this exercise okay and got through the 5 minutes without falling asleep or getting fidgety, well done. Keep practicing every day and don't increase your time until you start to really enjoy those 5 minutes. Once you find it all a piece of cake, increase your time to 15 or 20 minutes. If you found it difficult to concentrate or sit still, try shortening the time you spend on this to just a few minutes. Don't give up, as those who have most difficulty concentrating often get the most out of this exercise once they learn how to do it well. If you found that easily become distracted, have a go at the following techniques. Hint: if you find yourself getting bored and fidgety in this exercise, it means you are not focusing your entire mind on what you are doing. Try to blot out all other thoughts. One useful technique is to count each in breath up to 10 and then count each out breath back down to 1 again. Meditation takes time and effort to do well, so if you want to be good at it, you need to persist and practice daily. Task number 2. Whenever you notice your mind starting to wander away from whatever you are trying to focus on, simply say to yourself, "Be here now," and gently bring your attention back to where you want it to be. If your mind wanders again, repeat "Be here now" and bring your attention back. Don't be cross with yourself or try to force yourself to concentrate. When you are thinking about not concentrating, you are not concentrating. Don't try to push any particular thought out of your mind. When you are trying not to think about something, your mind is occupied with that, and again, you are not concentrating. Just let the thought go like a balloon in a breeze. Say to yourself, "Be here now," and return to the present. Task number 3. When you find that something is distracting you or bothering you in any way, make a conscious decision to let it be. Try not to let the situation irritate you. Do not wish it to change, just allow it to be. This technique is good for everyday situations that you have to live with, such as noisy children, cooking smells, the sound of next door's television, the humming of your computer, and really distracting noises such as drilling or traffic. It might help to combine this with the previous techniques. Take a deep breath and breathe out slowly. As you breathe out, let go of any tension or irritation you might have. Say to yourself, be here now, and bring your attention back to where you want it to be. Task number 4. Set aside worry or daydreaming time. If your mind is regularly sidetracked into worrying or daydreaming during the day, set aside a specific time each day, say 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., to think about whatever it is that keeps interrupting your concentration. Research has shown that people who regularly use a worry time worry less. So set a specific time each day to do your worrying. Almost any time will do, but not just before you go to bed. During the day, when your concentration is distracted by thoughts or worries, tell yourself to put it out of your mind until your special time, when you will think about it. Let the thought go. Use the be here now technique if you like. Be sure that you keep the promise with yourself and do your worrying when the time comes. Stop when the time is up and continue the next day. You can use the same technique for daydreaming. Don't stop daydreaming altogether, though, as experts believe it can benefit your brain and your creativity. Just daydream at times when you don't need to concentrate on something or someone else. Number 7. Relaxation and concentration. Aim is to boost your powers of concentration through relaxation techniques. You may think that relaxation is the opposite of concentration, but in order to stay focused for long periods, it is absolutely vital that you take time out to recharge your batteries. Relaxation thoroughly refreshes your mind, reduces stress and anxiety, and helps you focus on the task at hand. Below, you will find out one short and one long relaxation technique that you may wish to use anytime during your day, while studying, before a presentation or speech, prior to a big date or an interview, or whenever. Task 1. A short relaxation. Loosen any tight clothing and get comfortable. Tighten the muscles in your toes. Hold on for a count of 10. Now relax and enjoy the sensation of release from tension. Flex the muscles in your feet. Hold for a count of 10. Relax. Move slowly up through your body, legs, abdomen, back, neck, face, concentrating and relaxing your muscles as you go. Breathe deeply and slowly. Task number 2. Wrong relaxation. Remove yourself from all noise and interruption. Find a comfortable position, such as sitting in a soft chair or lying on a bed. Make sure that your head, upper back, and neck are supported. For the next 20 minutes, focus on yourself and let your mind and muscles rest. Now close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Breathe slowly and deliberately. Give all your attention to your breath, coming in and going out as you inhale and exhale. Focus on your body, relaxing and release stress and pain. Now that you are breathing slowly and relaxing your body, think of a pleasant place. Perhaps you are on a sandy beach, dozing as you lie on soft white sand under a warm sun. Use all your senses as you imagine this lovely place. See the clear ocean. Feel the warmth of the sun and the mild breezes. Take as long as you need to savor the peace of the location you have created in your mind. As you imagine your perfect place, consider your body. Are there any areas that feel tight or tense? Concentrate on those areas and imagine the tension slipping away. Feel the warmth of the relaxation. Start to replace the tension. Feel free to move slowly to help this process. At the end of your deep relaxation period, take a few deep breaths and slowly open your eyes. Stay in the same position for several minutes before moving on to something else. If this worked for you, why not try it just before you go to sleep tonight? You may find that your sleep is deeper and more relaxing than ever before. If you found it hard to unwind, try to slow things down even more when you do this exercise and really take your time. Helpful hint: if you have difficulty focusing and your mind wanders during this task, don't give up. But don't force yourself to complete the task. Just try again another time. Relaxation techniques work best when you do them regularly, preferably at the same time of day. Make it a habit and you will reap the benefits. Number 8. Turn the volume down. Aim is to enhance your hearing in order to improve your concentration. Task 1. Turn on the television or radio and lower the volume until you can barely hear what is being said. Then slowly turn up the volume until you can hear clearly what is being said. Make a note of when you hit that point with the volume indicator on your screen or radio. Repeat this exercise several times a day and try to hit that point earlier each time. Every time you try to exercise, work to hear the talking more clearly and sooner than last time. Helpful hint: this exercise works best with radio rather than TV, as there are no images to distract you. Your ears get used to a certain volume, but often that volume is far higher and you need to hear clearly. Use a talk station rather than a music one. Task number 2. Fine-tune your hearing with a little music. If the volume indicator on your television or radio didn't drop much in the previous task, it might help to play a piece of music that you enjoy, and while you are listening, draw a picture of what you hear. The picture does not have to be realistic. It could be abstract shapes or colors that express the ideas or feelings that come to you as you listen. You might also want to try the following meditation techniques to sharpen your hearing. Task number 3. Close your eyes, breathe deeply and regularly, and separate yourself from the chatter of the stream of thoughts that flow through your mind. As your mind quiets and you relax, become aware of the variety of sounds that surround you. There is no need to do anything but listen. If this worked for you, why not put your amazing listening skills to good use and practice on friends and family as follows. Task number 4. Over the next few days, make a point of really listening to your friends, family, and colleagues and pay attention to what they say. Try to keep your interruptions to a minimum and just listen. You will be surprised at what you learn and how much other people appreciate being heard. If you find it hard to unwind in order to do any of the tasks in this exercise, try to slow things down even more when you do this exercise and really take your time. It may help to prepare by doing some of the meditation exercises beforehand. Number 9. Mind wandering. Aim is to use unfocused thoughts to discover how your mind operates. Task: get comfortable and relax. Take deep breaths for a few minutes and just stay quiet. Your mind will begin to wander, but don't try to stop it. Just let it go wherever it wants to go and watch it as if you were a spectator. Don't try deliberately to have positive thoughts or push away unpleasant ones. After a while, you will notice how fickle your thoughts are, how they spring up in your mind and then slip away. If you can do this for about 10 minutes, you will begin to learn interesting things about your mind. You will find out which thoughts try to dominate and which ones are quickly pushed away. If you manage to do this for about 5 minutes, you are doing well. To improve your concentration skills, keep practicing and try to extend to 10 minutes, then 15, and then 20, and really find out what makes you tick. If you didn't like this exercise or found it difficult, consider why you are uncomfortable with your thoughts. Is there something troubling you? If there is, it will interfere with your concentration until you can find ways to deal with it. Helpful hint: the key is to practice. In time, it will become easier and easier to impose silence on your thoughts. Number 10. Candle magic. Aim is to improve your powers of concentration using a simple focusing technique. Task: light a candle and place it on an empty desk or a table in front of you. Now stare at the candle for 10 seconds. Then close your eyes and imagine every detail of the candle. Think about the candle's shape and the color and how the flame flickers. Try to keep this image in your mind for as long as possible. You might find it hard at first and might need to open your eyes again to refresh your memory and try again. Practice for a few minutes each day until you have mastered the skill, and for safety reasons, be sure to snuff out your candle completely when you have finished. If this technique worked for you, keep practicing slowly and steadily to aim to build up 10 minutes a day. Once you have done that, try a mandala meditation. A mandala, like the one below, is a design that represents the universe and is used by mystics to focus and inspire the mind during meditation. Follow the same instructions, but this time working with the mandala instead of a candle. Meditation on a candle or mandala is the kind of exercise you can return to again and again. So if you find it difficult this time, try some of the other exercises in this section and come back to this exercise late. Helpful hint: this kind of exercise really takes time to learn and do well. So be patient, practice slowly and steadily over a period of several weeks, and you will find it gets easier. 11. Getting down to it. Aim is to enhance your powers of concentration in everyday tasks. The previous exercise have relaxed and prepared you. Now it's time to put them on to the rest in your daily life. Choose a job that you need to do. It could be anything: housework, making a phone call, whatever, and give it to your undivided attention for 30 minutes. That may not seem like a long time, but you need to work steadily and resist the temptation to daydream or to think about anything else. Helpful hint: the best way to succeed at this task is to create an environment that helps you concentrate. Some people like music and chatter, but others need peace and quiet. Find what works best for you. Take regular breaks, and you will find this will refresh and re-energize your mind and your mood. If you manage to concentrate for 15 minutes, well done. Keep practicing, and soon you will be able to go for 30 minutes. If you get to the 30-minute magic, you have an earned concentration. Congratulations. If your concentration kept wandering, try again, but this time for a shorter period, say 10 or 15 minutes, and work your way up to 30 minutes. Now measure your progress so far. Set a timer for 3 minutes, put on some pleasant music, and using the hand that you don't usually write with, draw a sideways figure 8 in the air. Do this figure 8 air drawing over and over again, making the figure a little larger and larger until it is huge. Then start making it smaller and smaller again. When it is very small, make it larger again, and so on. Repeat for 30 minutes. If you were able to do this for at least 2 of the 3 minutes without your mind wandering, you are making steady progress and really improving your powers of concentration. This is a great exercise to do whenever you feel you need to improve your concentration, as it activates both eyes and stimulates both sides of your brain. Note, this exercise can be done without movement, simply by imagining drawing the different size figures. Section number 2. Memory. The act of memorizing encourages the brain cells to lay down more connections, creating new neural networks in which the newly acquired memories are stored. Many people believe they have a poor memory because they cannot recall names, faces, dates, and so on. Often the problem is not that memories have been lost, but that you are out of practice when it comes to retrieving the memories that you have stored. Memory is like a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger and fitter it will get. So the more information you memorize, the easier it becomes to recall stored information. Although poor diet, poor health, and stress can adversely affect it, by getting into the habit of flexing your mental muscles, your memory gets regularly refreshed and strengthened and grows fitter and sharper than ever. Before you start, check the state of your memory at the moment. If you answer yes to more than 3 of the following 10 questions, you should pay special attention to this section. Do you find it hard to put names on faces? Do you get embarrassed when you need to introduce people because you have forgotten their names? Do you forget appointments or tasks even when you have written them down in your date book? Do you often get lost? Do you often forget where you have put personal items like your key or your mobile phone? Do you sometimes forget where you park your car or bike? Do you often forget special events such as birthdays and anniversaries? Do you sometimes enter a room and forget why you went in there? Do you sometimes forget what you were about to say? Do people often say to you, "You have already told me that"? Number 12. Kim's Game. Aim is to flex your memory muscle and power up your observational skills. This game is derived from Rudyard Kipling's novel Kim. In the novel, the game was used to train the young hero Kim and other students in the skills required to carry out clandestine operations in colonial India. Task 1. Look at the illustrations below for 1 minute and try to memorize all the items. Then close this book and write a list of everything you can remember. Helpful hint: with this kind of observational task, it helps you to remember the objects visually as one picture rather than trying to recall them individually by name. Close your eyes and try to visualize the objects exactly as they are in the illustration. Just look at your mental image and check off each object as you see it. When you do this, you are using working memory. This is the short-term storage facility you use to carry out tasks such as looking up a restaurant telephone number in a directory and holding it in your mind long enough to dial it. If you remembered fewer than 6 of the objects, your memory is out of condition, but don't worry about it. You are in the majority. Most of us need to fine-tune our memory. If you practice this kind of exercise again and again, you will soon notice an improvement. Task number 2. Ask someone to collect 12 different items for you. Observe them from 1 minute and then try to recall as many as you can. It might help you connect the items together by making up some kind of story that includes them all. When you do this, you are involving both hemispheres and more areas of the brain, and this can really help you recall. If you remembered at least 8 of the items, you are doing well. Try the exercise again, but this time try to remember them all. You could ask someone to collect 12 different items for you, but this time introduce more objects, up to 16. Here is another one to try. Task number 3. Find a picture in a book, magazine, or newspaper that is full of objects. Study the picture for a minute and then try to remember 12 or more items, people, animals, buildings, or whatever illustrated in the picture. In Kipling's novel, the eponymous hero practiced this skill until he was expert. If you want to improve your memory, you can be as good as Kim with constant practice. If you manage to remember 11 or more of the items, you are ready for a really tough version of the game using 24 objects. Score over 20 and you'd make a great spy. Number 13. Memory rituals. Aim is to use ritual techniques to jog your memory. Task number 1. Have you ever tied a note in a hanky to remind you to do something important? If you have, then you are using ritual to boost your memory. For this task, think of something you need to remember to do, such as write a thank you note or pick up items from the dry cleaners, and then think of a ritual you can use to assist your memory. For instance, you could put a chair in front of the steps to remind you to take out the garbage, or leave a single piece of fruit in the middle of the kitchen table to remind you to pay the bills. If this task worked for you, keep practicing and try the following one. Helpful hint: in order to work effectively, the ritual needs to be bizarre or unusual enough to make an impression on your unconscious mind and so prompt your memory at the appropriate time. You could tie a pink ribbon around a door handle or put a familiar object such as a photograph, paperweight, or picture on your desk in a different position, so every time you look at it and notice unusual positions, your memory is jogged. Task number 2. On a day when it isn't important that you to be somewhere on time in the morning, such as while you are on vacations, ditch the alarm clock and program your body clock to get up at a certain time using a ritual. For example, before you go to bed, repeat 5 times out loud the time you want to wake up. While doing something unusual such as gentle stretching from side to side, you will be surprised at how well this self-waking technique works. But note that this technique needs practice and may not work the first time for everyone. If you practiced a ritual but still forgot what you needed to do, perhaps your ritual wasn't striking or unusual enough. Try again with something really unusual. Number 14. The book club. Aim is to test your memory and your powers of observation. Task number 1. Study the picture for 5 minutes, then turn the page and try to answer the questions. The picture is of a seating plan. It shows the names of the 10 members of a book club positioned around a square table and lists each member's favorite author. Helpful hint: if it helps you memorize the table one side at a time, try to visualize the names and the authors. How many men were present? Who is Susie's favorite author? Who sat opposite Karen? Who sat to the right of Christopher? Who sat on the left of the person who read Jilly Cooper? Who was the favorite author of the person who sat opposite Paul? Who sat to the left of Louis? Who read J.K. Rowling? Who read Terry Pratchett? Who sat to the right of Mark? If you answered at least 7 correctly, you achieved a good result and are ready to move on to more advanced visual memory work. If you answered fewer than 4 questions correctly, your powers of observation and memory need strengthening. Try the exercise again until you get at least 7 correct and hit an average score. Have another go at exercise 12, Kim's game. Task number 2. Find a pattern of some kind. It could be on your wallpaper or carpet, or get someone to draw a pattern. Now study the pattern for a few minutes and then draw it. First with your right hand and then with your left hand. Next, try to draw it from memory. This is a test of visual memory, not artistic skill. So don't worry if your drawing isn't up to speed. The idea here is to remember as many details as you can of the pattern. Number 15. Association. Aim is to use association techniques to boost memory. Association is an extremely useful technique for remembering important details such as phone numbers and addresses. Task number 1. Find familiar words, images, or phrases and associate them with some information you are trying to commit to memory, such as important name and telephone numbers you came across recently. This association does not have to make logical sense. In fact, it is often those associations that are particularly odd, humorous, or silly that stay in your mind. Some people remember names this way. For instance, you may remember the name Robert Green by picturing Robert playing golf on the green, wearing green clothes or covered in green paint. Telephone numbers can become silly jingles. For example, 423-622-4001 becomes 423-622-4001. Now that you are familiar with the technique, use it to help you with the next task. Task number 2. Memorize the fictional names, addresses, and phone numbers below. Study them for 5 minutes and then use your powers of association to remember them. The more ridiculous your associations, the more likely you are to remember them. Does Rebecca do her cartwheels right? Can grey ham be eaten with barley? The more bizarre and exaggerated you make the associations, the better this technique works. It might also help to add rhymes and songs as well. If you find you can work with this technique, you have mastered a memory tool that can be enormous to help you. See if you can still remember the addresses tomorrow and then in a week's time. Use this technique to memorize all your important phone numbers and addresses. Do you remember how you learned your ABCs? Try this task. Helpful hint: here's a basic memory rule. You can remember any new piece of information if it is associated with something you already know or remember. Is there anyone you know who has the same first name or last name? Does the name of the street conjure any familiar images? Task number 3. Make a list of 4 to 6 errands you need to do in the next day or so. Then pick a tune you like and set your list to music. You will be amazed at how this enhances your memory. Number 16. Repeat after me. Aim is to use repetition as a memory aid. Task number 1. Repeat the following poem out loud several times and then try to repeat it with your eyes shut. If you already know the poem by heart, find one you don't know. Give yourself 10 minutes for this task. The road not taken. Helpful hint: try to learn the poem in sections. Memorize the first 3 lines, then add the next 3 lines, and so on. Repetition is the key. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Work on memorizing it for several minutes. Leave it and then come back to it and repeat again and again. It will come. It might help to take a break and come back to it in an hour or so. You may find that the break recharges your memory. If you still find it hard to remember the poem, it might help to try the next task. Task number 2. Get a sheet of paper and copy out the Robert Frost poem. Underline the important words to it. Decide on a tune and sing the words to it. Read them loud. Now put them aside and write as much as you can remember. You may amaze yourself by how well you do. If you could do this exercise after only a few repetitions and within 10 minutes, you have a fantastic tool for memory work that can benefit you enormously in your daily life. Now try this. Task number 3. Choose a new poem, wise saying, Bible verse, or meaningful statement from a book, magazine, or newspaper and memorize it. Repeat the exercise every day. Your brain loves this kind of stimulation. Number 17. I know who you are. Aim is to link names with faces by means of a simple observational skill. Task number 1. Look at the 10 names and faces below for 2 minutes. Then cover up the names with a sheet of paper. Go away and do something else for half an hour. Then come back and try to identify the names just by looking at the people. Helpful hint. One way to remember people is by distinctiveness. Home in on a particular feature, the shape of the forehead, the hairstyle, how far apart the eyes are. It is often more difficult to remember the names of children as their features are more rounded and less distinctive than an adult's. In everyday life, it can help you to remember names if you place the person in contact and try to remember where you have seen them on her before. If you got most of the names and faces right, use your gift to win friends and influence people. If you could only remember up to 4 names and faces, try again and look at particular qualities or any associations you can make. If you can't find any, make them up. Does anyone look happy or sad, kind or unkind, or remind you of someone you know? What about hair or expressions? Try giving them imagery, characters, or lifestyles. Now try this task. Task number 2. The next time you are introduced to someone new, don't only remember their name but find out a few personal facts about them to see if you can recall these details the next time you meet. You will end up seeming cleverer and being more popular than you already are. Number 18. Can't get you out of my head. Aim is to use music to fine-tune your memory. Task number 1. Set some information you need to remember to a favorite piece of music or a well-known catchy song. For example, have a go at setting the signs of the zodiac in their correct order to Happy Birthday, or the Star-Spangled Banner, or the children's nursery rhyme Jack and Jill. Helpful hint. Choose a really simple tune. Children's nursery rhymes are ideal. Don't worry if the tune doesn't fit particularly well, because this will make it even more memorable. The parts that don't scan are likely to be the ones you remember best. If you already know the zodiac, choose something you don't know, such as the brightest stars in the sky or the 12 cranial nerves. Once you get the hang of it, with practice, try this harder challenge. Task number 2. Learn the major bones in the human body: skull, maxilla, mandible, vertebra, clavicle, scapula, humerus, ribs, wrist, carpal, metacarpal, phalanges, radius, ulna, pelvis, sacrum, femur, patella, tibia, fibula, tarsals, and metatarsals. Alternatively, choose an uplifting poem, speech, or passage about 20 lines or so long from a book you love. Set it to music and let the beautiful words sink into your memory. If you find this exercise hard work, try the repetition task again from exercise 16. You might find the next exercise, mnemonics, will help you too. You might also find it useful to read about the Mozart effect in part 2. Number 19. Mnemonics. Aim is to use the technique of mnemonics to help you remember useful information. Mnemonics is a useful technique that helps jog your memory. For example, the following mnemonics are sentences or phrases in which the initial letters of the word spell out words that many people find rather tricky to spell. Here is another example, a word list showing the order in which the planets orbit the sun in our solar system. Task number 1. Listed below are 15 commonly misspelled words, so create a mnemonic that helps you spell them correctly. Helpful hint. Your sentences does not have to make sense. In fact, the sillier the better, as then it's more likely to stick in your mind. Task number 2. Think of a mnemonic to help you remember the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ in chronological order. If this technique works for you, try to make up mnemonics to remember other useful facts and amaze your friends and family. You could also log on to the mnemonic website and learn some popular ones. Alternatively, post some of your own just for fun. You can also use mnemonics to remember numbers. Simply choose words with the same number of letters as the number you are trying to remember. For example, to remember the telephone number 836-324-1424, think crackers 8 and 3 cheese, 6 4, 3 me, 2 with 4, and 1 drop 4 of 2 milk 4. To really impress your friends, use the following mnemonic to remember pi, the complex number that expresses the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. 3.1415926 5.3. May I have a large container of coffee? Thank you. Number 20. Seeing things. Aim is to use a familiar place, such as your own home, as a visual memory aid. Task number 1. Imagine that you need to remember a list of things you have to do. Divide your list into sections: things to do at home, at the store, on the phone, and so on. Next, picture your home in your mind's eye and assign one room of your house to each section. Now, in your mind's eye, to go to each room in your house and place a note about each task in different places in the room. When you need to remember your to-do list again in your mind's eye, visit each room in your house and pick up the notes. Helpful hint: if you make the image appropriate to the task, it will make your job easier. For example, if you want to remember to make a phone call, try leaving a note by the phone in your mind's eye. When you have retrieved your notes, dispose of them in an imaginary trash can so that you can use this technique again. Keep practicing this technique, as the more often you do it, the better you will get. If remembering and pictures come easily to you, try the following. Task number 2. Choose a road or street you know really well, such as the one you live on. Gather the information you need to remember, divide it into categories, and then in your mind's eye, write each piece of information on the for sale sign. Now again in your mind's eye, erect boards outside each house or store or familiar landmark on the street. Then when you need to remember the information, take an imaginary walk down your street and read each sign and the information on it. Now try using your body clock as a memory aid instead. Task number 3. Take a few days to study the natural rhythms of your life. The times you eat, sleep, work, rest, and play. When you are familiar with your routine, start to associate other activities with them. For instance, when you have your morning coffee break, use it as a signal to check your emails or make important calls, and so on. Number 21. Human Encyclopedia. Aim is to stimulate your memory with fascinating facts. It's easier to memorize things that interest you or that are unusual or stand out in some way. Task: review the list of unusual human facts below for 5 minutes. Then close the book and see how many you can recall. 1. Women blink twice as many times as men do. 2. We are about 1 3-inch taller in the morning than in the evening, because the spongy discs that act as cushions between the vertebrae get compressed over the course of the day. There are approximately 550 hairs in one eyebrow. 4. The strongest muscle gram for gram in the human body is the tongue. 5. The world's youngest parents were aged 8 and 9 and lived in China in 1910. 6. The largest kidney stone known weighted 3 pounds. 7. Most dust particles in your house are fragments of dead skin. 7. Babies are born without kneecaps. They appear when the child is 2 to 6 years of age. 8. Your body creates and destroys 15 million red blood cells per second. 9. The average human produces 10,000 gallons of saliva in a lifetime. If you ate too many carrots, you would turn orange. The force created by 1 billion people jumping at the same time is equal to 500 tons of TNT. A baby is born every 7 seconds. You breathe about 10 million times a day. The colder the room you sleep in, the better the chances are that you will have a bad dream. The foot is the body part most commonly bitten by insects. The most common time for a wake-up call is 7 a.m. The nail on the middle finger grows faster than the nails on other fingers. Your hearing is less sharp if you eat too much. You swallow around 300 times while eating dinner. More people are alive today than have ever died. The average male beard contains between 7,000 to 15,000 hairs. During an average lifetime, a man will spend 3,350 hours removing 27.5 feet of stubble. The hardest bone in the human body is the jawbone. Helpful hint: you are more likely to remember something if it intrigues you. If you didn't find any of these facts particularly interesting, find other ways to broaden your mind, such as browsing an encyclopedia or surfing the internet. Curiosity is the key to all knowledge. If you manage to recall more than half of these unusual facts, you are ready to start taking more intellectual risks in your daily life. For example, if you have always wanted to start painting or write a novel, why not have a go now? or sign up for an art or creative writing class. Read books you wouldn't normally read. Talk to people from different walks of life. Join a debating society or book club and make sure your voice is heard. Think of all this experimentation as an adventure. If you could only recall up to 5 facts from this list, awaken your curiosity by learning something new. It doesn't matter what it is, the important point is that you begin to broaden your mind. Measure your progress so far. Can you remember 5 details about your first day at a new school? Can you remember 10 details of your life when you first heard Princess Diana had died? For example, where were you living? Who were your friends? What did you enjoy doing in your free time? Without looking at your watch, write down what time it is. Just being able to answer one of these correctly is a sign that you are making great progress. Recalling something you haven't thought for years or accurately predicting the time without needing a watch suggests that your memory is becoming much stronger and more adaptable. There is a clear link between memory and confidence. Think how much easier it is to start chatting with someone if you remember their name. How special it makes friends and loved ones feel when you remember their birthday or something important to them. How much easier it is to impress your boss or teacher if you can recall the details of interactions you'd had with them in the past. How less stressful things are when you remember where you put your keys, your glasses, or your mobile phone. Life really is much richer and much easier when you can remember more of it. Section 3. Problem Solving. Studies have shown that logic and problem-solving exercises stimulate new neural pathways and patterns of mental activity that greatly enhance the way the brain functions. As your brain becomes more efficient at processing information, you become better able to deal with all sorts of mental tasks in daily life, not just puzzles. In order to achieve these brain-boosting benefits, you need to challenge your brain with problem-solving exercises on a regular basis. If you find that you get easily confused in complex situations, that simple calculations, forms, and instructions are baffling, or that you just cannot spot the simple solutions to problems that others seem to grasp effortlessly, then this section is for you. It will help sharpen your logic and problem-solving skills. Before you start, check your problem-solving abilities as they are at the moment. If you answer yes to more than 3 of the following questions, you should pay attention to this section. Did you struggle with math at school? Do you ever find yourself going around in circles trying to come up with a solution to a simple problem? Do you struggle when you have to work with figures? Do you find crossword puzzles difficult? Do questions involving logic make your head spin? Do you put off making decisions or prefer someone else to make them? Do you find IQ questions beyond you? Do you feel that your mental processes are slower than other people's? Do you feel you are always the last person to understand something or grasp the punchline of a joke? Is it hard for you to come up with creative solutions or new ideas? 22. Odd one out. Aim is to boost the brain's ability to make logical connections. Task 1. All the words or letters in the 8 lines below appear at first glance to be closely related, but in fact there is an imposter in the list. Can you work out which one doesn't belong? You've got 2 minutes to figure it out. Boston, Dallas, New York, Sinisty, Vionim, April, Holy, Charity, Dandelion, Sandy, India, Tulip, Iris, Hecaran, Crocus, Impatience, AFIEO, Yard, Inch, Foot, Acre, Mile, Sundial, Watch, Clock, Barometer, Chronograph, Tennis, Volleyball, Ice Hockey, Football, Baseball, Thesaurus, Dictionary, Novel, Atlas, Encyclopedia. Helpful hint: for each list, try to work out whether the connection is in the words, letters themselves, or their order, or is there something else that connects them. If these lists didn't stump you and you got all the answers within the 2 minutes allowed, have a go at something a little different. If you didn't manage to get more than 2 of these within the 2 minutes allowed, don't rush to look up the answers, but instead return to them again a little later, several times if necessary. Each time you make your brain work that little bit harder, you are creating new neural pathways that will make the next problem you tackle that much easier. If you continue to find this task hard after several attempts, try exercise 23. Task number 2, the following exercises relate to a series of words you are extremely familiar with. First, identify the words and then work out what the next letter is in the list should be. W, T, F, S, S, M. Helpful hint: think of things that often come in sets, such as the months of the year or the signs of the zodiac. 23. Anagrams. Aim is to boost your word skills. An anagram rearranges the letter of one word or phrase to make another word or phrase. For instance, an anagram for client fast food could be Old West action. Other examples: teach, cheat, pale, leap, plea, peel, Roman, a norm, a morn, no arm, a manner, teacup, apscue, cutby. Task number 1, you have 5 minutes to find out what the following 5 anagrams have in common. May take lazy yacht army. If you solved this puzzle but it took you longer than 5 minutes, then strengthen your word skills with some extra practices as follow. Helpful hint: always use capital letters, write the words backward or in a circle. This takes your mind off the original word and its meaning and help you see the many options available. It may also help to write each letter on a small card and shuffle the cards around on the table. Task 2, whoever you meet today, try to come up with at least one anagram from his or her name. If you solve the puzzle within the 5 minutes allowed, there are numerous anagram websites to explore on the internet. Alternatively, you can get a book of anagrams or verbal challenges from your local bookstore or library. If this had you stumped, then try this. Task number 3, practice anagrams by writing your own first name down and see how many hidden words you can find. Then try using your first and last name. Now see how many words you can get and make out of the following: retirement, Washington, and Christmas. 24. Use your eyes. Aim is to strengthen your powers of visual reasoning. Task number 1, the diagram below shows a square with 4 coins on each side. Rearrange the coins to make another square with 5 coins on each side. You've got 5 minutes. Helpful hint: practice using real coins. If you still find this difficult, try to look at the problem in a different way. There's no reason why coins can't be placed on top of one another. If you did this task within the 5 minutes allowed, your visual reasoning powers are in good shape. Did you use real coins in this exercise or work it out in your head? Here's another exercise to challenge you. Task 2, the numbers 1 to 9 below are positioned in a 3 by 3 square, rearranged so that each row, column, and diagonal adds up to 15. Want to try another one? Task number 3, using 6 matches, construct 4 equilateral, equal-sided triangles. You must not bend or break any of the matches. 25. Number magic. Aim is to refresh your left brain skills. Task number 1, you've got 10 minutes to answer as many of the following questions as possible. Last year, Simon was exactly 6 times as older as his son. This year, he is exactly 5 times as old as his son. What will their ages be next year? Jane walks half a mile in 15 minutes. How far will she have gone in 1.5 hours? 10 people at a meeting each shake hands with everyone present. How many handshakes will there be in total? Lisa is 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed 170 pounds. She went on a diet for 10 weeks and lost 3 pounds each week. How much did she weigh at the end of the 10 weeks? The sum of the ages of 3 children in a family is 34. What will the sum of their ages will be in 3 years' time? Helpful hint: there is no trick solution here. You just need persistence. If you have a natural feel for numbers, you should be able to answer these questions within the time given. Here's something else to challenge your left brain. Task number 2. The next time you go for a weekly shop at the supermarket, try to add up the prices of the items you are buying and see if you are correct when it's time to pay. If you find all this is a piece of cake, you might want to try your hand at Sudoku, the ultimate logic game, if you haven't gotten hooked already. If you struggled with some of these, it may help to limber up your left brain with some counting exercises. Task 3. As fast as you can, count out loud in twos up to 100. Then count down in twos from 100 to 0. Now try counting in threes up to 100 and break down again. For the ultimate challenge, count up and down in sevens. 26. Dodgy logic. Aim is to enhance your reasoning powers by solving problems of logic. Task number 1. Answer the following logic questions. You've got 4 minutes. Letter is to envelope as foot is to leg, hand, carry, sock, hat. Is it legal in South Dakota for a man to marry his widow's sister? In France, why can't you take a picture of a woman with hair curlers? Many hundreds of years ago, a thief was charged with treason against a Roman emperor and sentenced to death. The emperor, feeling merciful, asked the man how he would like to die. Which way would you choose to die if you found yourself in the same situation? Elizabeth has 6 pairs of black gloves and 6 pairs of brown gloves in her drawer. In complete darkness, how many gloves must she take out to make sure she has a matching pair? Helpful hint: there's no catch here. All the information you need to answer these questions currently can be found in the question. No specialized knowledge or mathematical skill is required, just the ability to think clearly and analytically. If this really clicked with you, you're the kind of person who can see through details and get to what is essential. Here's a very tricky challenge that will stretch your left brain to the max. Task number 2. A man lives on the 10th floor of a building. Every day he takes the elevator down to the ground floor to go to work or to go to shopping. When he returns, if he is alone in the elevator, he takes it to the 7th floor and walks up to the stairs to reach his apartment on the 10th floor. When he is with someone, he rides in the elevator all the way to the 10th floor. When it's raining outside, he also rides to the 10th, whether he is alone in the elevator or not. He hates climbing stairs, so why does he do that? Chess is a fantastic way to boost your logic skills and reasoning power as well as your concentration and problem-solving skills. It also happens to be an exciting and addictive hobby. If you don't already know how to play the game, why not learn and teach friends or family so you can all play together? 27. Never assume. Aim is to be more flexible in your thinking. Task 1. Solve the following. In each of these puzzles, you are given some clues to a scenario, but the clues don't tell the full story. Your job is to fill in the details and complex the stories below. You've got 10 minutes tops. A man and his son are driving home from a football game when they have a terrible accident. The man is taken to the intensive care department and the boy is taken straight to the operating room. The surgeon comes over to the operating table, sees the boy and says, "I can't operate on this patient. He's my son. How can this be?" A woman throws something out of a window and dies. How did this happen? What is both the longest and the shortest thing in the world? The fastest and the slowest, the most neglected and the most regretted, without which nothing can be done. Helpful hint: to complete the stories, you need to be flexible in your thinking. Step outside your normal mode of thought and attack the problem from a different direction. Bear in mind too that sometimes a problem seems difficult or insoluble because our assumptions are wrong. To solve these puzzles, you'll need to challenge your assumptions, especially about who, what, when, where, and why. A man married 5 women but stayed single all his life. How? If this was all transparently obvious to you, well done. The next insurance salesman or used car dealer who tries to pull the wool over your eyes won't stand a chance. Now try the following lateral thinking game with a friend. Task 2. Choose 2 objects at random and combine them in a novel way. See who can come up with the best idea. What can you come up with? For example, from the combination of a car and a microwave. Perhaps a car that has built-in microwave or microwavable ready meals in the shape of a car. If you find the logic problems in task 1 too difficult, you may be thinking too many assumptions. Try to keep an open mind and be more flexible in your thinking. You will also benefit from the creativity exercises in section 5. Number 28. Calculation. Aim is to strengthen your problem-solving skills. Task number 1. Use all the digits from 1 to 9 and any combination of plus and minus signs to add up to 100. The digits must be used in correct order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You've got 5 minutes. If you work this out easily, here's something to test both your thinking and numerical skills. It might just get you chewing your pencil. Helpful hint: there's no shortcut here. You need to concentrate and work logically until you get the answers. Task number 2. 2 mothers and 2 daughters went for lunch. They bought a giant pizza and divided it into equal parts using 3 straight cuts. They then had equal shares of the pizza. How did they do this? If you found these harder than you expected, have a go at exercise 31, or perhaps you need to put in more practice with the concentration exercises in section 1. As the secret to this kind of exercise is persistence, here's another challenge. Task number 3. Try reciting the 2 times table out loud while writing down the 3 times table. 29. Eureka! Aims to enhance lateral reasoning skills by means of logic problem. Task number 1. Connect these 9 points together using 4 straight lines but without lifting your pen or pencil from the paper. Helpful hint for this task: you need to think outside the box, quite literally. If you find you need more than 5 minutes for this, it might help to take a break and come back to the question later. You might also review exercise 27, never assume. If you manage this okay, you will probably enjoy the next 2 as well. Task number 2. What do the following words all have in common? Buy, catch, bring, seek, teach, think. Helpful hint: think of sounds rather than meaning here. Task number 3. Solve this conundrum. You buy it though you don't really want one. If you can't afford to buy it, you are given one. It protects you even though you don't need protection. It keeps working long after it has been disposed of. What is it? Number 30. Birthday party. Aims to solve problems using a combination of logic, persistence, and concentration. Task: from the clues below, work out whose child is whose and their relevant ages. At a recent birthday party, there were 4 mothers and their children, aged 1, 2, 3, and 4. It was Jane's child's birthday party. Brian is not the oldest child. Sarah had Annie just over a year ago. Laura's child will be 3 next birthday. Daniel is older than Charlie. Teresa's child is the oldest. Charlie is older than Laura's child. If you manage this one, don't get complacent. Keep practicing. Give your mental muscles another boost with the next exercise, picturing. If you found this difficult, you may be making things more complicated than they need to be. In the most problems like this, there is a simple answer or formula. It's just a matter of finding it. Bear in mind that success in solving logic problems often depends not so much on brain power but on persistence. You may also benefit from reviewing the concentration exercises in section 1. Helpful hint: to solve this, draw a couple of tables, one for the ages of the children's names and the other one for children's names and mothers' names. 31. Picturing. Aim is to tackle logic problems using pictorial skills. Task: a modern artist has 10 identical statues that are to be exhibited in one room of a gallery. The artist insists that there are 3 statues against each of the 4 walls. How would you arrange the figures? You've got 2 minutes. Helpful hint: you can solve this problem easily by drawing several rectangles and experimenting using dots to indicate the statues. If you manage this task, you could give your brain a treat by visiting an art museum, or even creating a piece of art yourself. Paying attention to artistic details is a great way to boost your thinking skills. While some people cope best with tasks that require visual skills, others may prefer hearing or physical skills. If you found this task difficult, you may not be sight-oriented so much as hearing or doing-oriented. Once you know which type you are, you can work out the best way to learn, remember, concentrate, and apply yourself. If writing things down does not help you to learn new facts, you might find it easier to process information if you listen to it. Try saying it out loud or recording it onto a tape recorder and playing it back to yourself several times. You could also try talking to yourself while reading or learning something new or trying to solve a puzzle. Exercising your brain by listening to lots of great music can help too. If you are a doing-oriented type, you will do best by acting out, experiencing, or doing whatever it is you are trying to learn. You might find it easier to solve exercises such as the statue task above you if you get physical. For example, you might ask 10 friends to stand in a room so that you can move them about. If that isn't practical, you could move marbles or coins about on a piece of paper. Measure your progress so far. Think of a question that you don't know the answer to. For example, why is the sky blue? Why do stars twinkle? Why do men have nipples? What would life be like if time ran backward? Now ask 3 people for their opinions. When you have all 3 answers, settle on the one you believe to be correct. If you are still not satisfied, seek out more advice. Whether or not the answer you eventually decide on is correct or incorrect doesn't really matter. What is important here is your approach. If you thought about the question yourself and then sought out the opinions of at least 3 other people to see if you had missed anything obvious, this is a clear sign that your problem-solving skills have taken a big leap forward. Section 4, Communication. Effective communication is essential for success in all areas of life. So if you often find it difficult to express yourself clearly and logically, or feel that people sometimes misunderstand you, then this is the section for you. The exercises in this section are designed to stimulate neurotransmitters and neural connections in the left side of the brain, where verbal ability and communication skills are mainly concentrated. If you need some extra help, you will find hints and tips after the exercises that should spur you on. Some of the exercises must be performed with the help of a friend or a group of friends. Sometimes the messages you send are non-verbal. There are communication tasks here to improve both verbal and non-verbal communicational skills. Before you start, check your powers of communication as they are at the moment. If you answer yes to more than 3 of the following 10 questions, you should pay special attention to this section. Do you often find it a struggle to choose the right words? Do people often look confused when you speak to them? Do you feel uncomfortable in social situations? Do you sometimes take ages to get to the point? Do you find it difficult to put across your point of view? Do you often feel as if the word you want is on the tip of your tongue? Do you find it hard to express yourself? Do you loathe speaking in public? Do you get nervous if you have to ask a stranger for directions? Do you get flustered if you make a call and get an answering machine voicemail? 32. Charades. Aim is to enhance non-verbal communicational skills. Task: play charades with family or friends. Here are the basic rules. You are probably familiar with them already, but they are outlined again below as a helpful reminder. The audience will ask you what the subject is. To reply, you use one of the following gestures, whichever one applies. Book title: put your hands together and then open them like a book. Movie title: pretend to crank an old-fashioned movie camera. Play title: mime a theater curtain opening. Song title: pretend to sing. TV show: draw a rectangle to outline the TV screen. Quote or phrase: make quotation marks in the air with your fingers. You must now describe your subject to the audience without speaking, just using mime. Use the following hand gestures to indicate the number of words in the title. Hold up that number of fingers. Which word you are miming. Hold up the number of fingers that indicate first, second, third word, or so on. The number of syllables in a word is above, but lay that number of fingers on your arm. Which syllable you are miming, lay that number of fingers on your arm again. A small word, hold up finger and thumb. A big word, hold your hands apart as though describing a big fish you've caught. Place one hand on top of the upright fingers of the other in the D sign. The whole title of phrase: draw a circle with your hands. A word that sounds like the equal word. Cup one hand behind your ear. A longer version of: pretend to stretch a piece of elastic. A shorter version of: do a karate chop with your hand. Plural: link your little fingers. Past tense: wave your hand over your shoulder toward your back. A letter of the alphabet: move your hand in a chopping motion toward your arm, near the top of your forearm if the letter is near the beginning of the alphabet, and near the bottom of your arm if the letter is near the end of the alphabet. That a guess is nearly right, wave your hands. A correctly guessed word: type your nose. A completely correct answer: put your one finger on your nose while pointing at the winner with your other hand. Remember, for the purpose of mental fitness, and this is all about non-verbal communication, you've got 5 minutes to mime your chosen subject to your audience and for them to guess what it is. If at any time during the game you say or even grunt anything, the other team or person wins, so lips sealed. 33. Forbidden words. Aim is to improve your mastery with words. Task: try to describe the 4 words below without using certain forbidden words on your hands. For example, if rectangle was the chosen word, you wouldn't be able to use the word for square, oblong, and right angle to describe it. or mime a square with your hands. This task works best if you describe the word to a friend or family member. See if they can guess each word within 1 minute. Sphere, forbidden words, ball, round, globe, circle. Parallel, forbidden words, direction, line, equals straight. Circle, forbidden words, round, 360, radius, ball. Triangle, forbidden words, pyramid, 3 equilateral point. If you enjoy doing this, choose some words or phrases and list the words most commonly used to describe them. Have fun using unfamiliar ways to describe something familiar. 34. Gone in 60 seconds. Aim is to enhance your ability to communicate clearly and concisely. Task: choose a subject and talk about it for 60 seconds. It can be anything from the weather to your favorite novel. Set a timer so that you know when the minute is up. If you hesitate, stop talking or say or I, repeat what you have said, or digress from the subject, then you haven't succeeded and need to reset the timer and start again. It's best to play this with other people so they can judge your performance and interrupt if you make a mistake. If you are playing it alone, use a tape recorder to record what you are saying. Then you can play it back and analyze your own performance. A version of this is played on the long-running BBC Radio 4 game show, Just a Minute. Except that someone else sets the subject and whoever interrupts has to take over. Why not get friends or family together and give it a try? 35. Word power. Aim is to build your vocabulary. Task: think of words that fit in the criteria given below. This is a great game to play with children and it will benefit their word skills too. If you find this easy, shorten the time limit to challenge yourself to think more quickly. Have a go at one or all of the following. List all the things you can think of that are invisible. Love, germs, air, anger are just a few. Try to think of at least 20 invisible things, then build up to 30, 50, or even 100. Recite the alphabet out loud, attaching a word to each letter. For example, A, animal, B, boat, C, cat, and so on. Now go through the alphabet again, this time attaching 2 words to each letter. Repeat this, but this time try to do it as fast as you can. When you are ready, attach 3, then 4, then 5 words to each letter using a kitchen timer. See how many 5 letters word you can write down in 2 minutes. Now try 6 letter words. Write the letters of the alphabet A to Z down the left-hand margin of a sheet of paper. Put a different letter on each side. Beside each letter, write a word beginning with the letter that is related to holidays. If you prefer to use another theme, just substitute something else. The theme doesn't matter. The idea is to challenge your brain. You may find it tough when you get to Q, X, and Z, but keep trying. Number 36. Trust walk. Aim is to test your ability to communicate clearly and effectively. Task: get a friend to work on this exercise with you. One of you should be blindfolded and the other sighted. The sighted person cannot touch the blindfolded person and is completely responsible for the care and safety of their partner. Designate the time for each person to be blindfolded before switching. Say 2 to 3 minutes before. Both people should walk slowly together using non-verbal communication to move forward and change direction. The sighted person is responsible for all verbal directional commands. Ease the sighted person in this exercise. You will need to master the art of verbal communication and guide your partner without prodding or poking them. Good verbal skill is the key factor when guiding your partner, but you also need authority and clarity to inspire confidence in your partner, who will probably feel very vulnerable and insecure in a trust walk. As the blindfolded person in this exercise, you will be disoriented and will have to listen carefully and follow your partner's instruction word for word. Because you cannot see, you will have to make full use of all your other senses, such as hearing and touch. Number 37. Body talk. Aim is to further enhance non-verbal communication skills. Task: ask a colleague, partner, or family member to help you with this exercise. You have 2 minutes to communicate the following using non-verbal communications only. You can only move on to B when the person working with you has guessed A correctly, and so on until you reach J. A, no. B, sit down. C, come in. D, be quiet. E, I don't know. F, go away or get away. Stand up. H, I'm mad. I, am happy. J, stop. 38. Story time. Aim is to improve communication skills and creativity. Task 1. Grab a few friends and family members and play the story time game. One player begins by saying, "We went on a vacation last week." The next player must continue the story beginning with "unfortunately," such as "Unfortunately, we forgot our passports." The next player continues with a statement beginning with "fortunately," such as "Fortunately, one of us remembered in time." Continue around the group alternating between "unfortunately" and "fortunately." Task number 2. Write a short paragraph that incorporates the following unrelated words: woman, television, plant, igloo, light bulb, snake, massage, rocket, mouse, van, book, plate, glue, finger, spoon. Other words can be used to complete the sentences. To continue the challenge, choose 15 more unrelated words and repeat the exercise. 39. Tongue twisters. Aim is to use alliteration to enhance linguistic skills. Task: say the familiar Peter Piper tongue twister, beginning slowly and gradually building up speed until you can see the words as fast as you can. If you are enjoying all these, why not try composing some tongue twisters of your own? 40. Have you heard the one? Aim is to stimulate your verbal skills using humorous wordplay. Task: have a go at writing some jokes. Even if you don't think you have a talent for comedy, one way to do this is to choose a form of behavior and take it to the extreme or exaggerate the effect. For example, you could compare your partner snoring to an earthquake. This isn't a hilarious example, but you get the idea. You could also start with a word or a subject, then fit it into various joke and riddle types, such as opposite meanings of the same word, similarities between the word and something else, and so on. Here are some funny sayings to get you in joke writing mood. Everybody lies, but it doesn't matter since everybody listens. He who laughs last thinks slowest. Everyone has a photographic memory, some just don't have any film. A day without sunshine is like, well, night. On the other hand, you have different fingers. Change isn't vital except from a vending machine. Honk if you love peace and quiet. Despite the cost of living, have you noticed how it remains so popular? Is it hard to understand how asymmetry raised its brutal causes and blamed it on the cost of living? A fine is a tax for doing wrong. A tax is a fine for doing well. I started out with nothing and I still have most of it. Light travels faster than sound. This is why some people appear bright until you hear them speak. Before you criticize someone, you should walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you criticize them, you are a mile away and you have their shoes. Why is it when we talk to God, we are praying, but when God talks to us, we are schizophrenic? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words might hurt me deeply, causing great emotional, mental, and psychological damage, leading to lowered self-esteem and decreased work-related efficiency. Always remember you're unique, just like everyone else. It may be that your sole purpose in life is to simply serve as a bad example. They laughed when I said I wanted to be a comedian. They're not laughing now. You may think you can write jokes and riddles, but that might be because you have never tried. This is your chance, go and do it for a laugh. Number 41. Cracking the code. Aim is to break down obstacles to communication. Task number 1. Can you decode the following cryptograms? They are all follow the same rule. If you caught this right away, you will certainly enjoy logging on to some cryptogram websites. If it all looks Greek to you, practice your decoding break skills with the following. Task number 2. Ask someone to write 5 short sentences and scramble the words. For example, we all went to the park to take the dog for a walk. Becomes to the dog we all for a park went to the walk take. Now have a go at deciphering each sentence. When you have done that a few times, you will find it easier and easier to unlock the hidden message. If you found most of the exercises in this section came naturally to you, you have a way with words. Keep nurturing and challenging your special gift. It's an excellent tool that will take you to magical places. If on the other hand you found it tough going, the following tips should help you boost your verbal skills. 1. Read as widely as possible. This is an excellent way to improve your vocabulary and will do wonders for your imagination as well. Choose a newspaper or magazine as different from the usual as possible, or read a book genre you have never tried before. 2. Crossword puzzles, word searches, anagrams, quizzes, riddles, and Scrabble can all help to increase your vocabulary and enhance your literacy skills. Aim to do one or more puzzles a day and vary the ones you try. 3. Every day, challenge your mind to make a long list and keep adding to that list all day. For example, list as many birds, trees, and flowers as you can. 4. Make a list of 5 important events in history and write a short paragraph about each event, explaining why it should be considered the most important. You can do the same with famous people's books, sporting events, poems, and so on. 5. Get together with friends or family and play a game of Call My Bluff. Take turns to choose an obscure word from the dictionary and come up with the 3 possible meanings. 2 meanings should be bogus. Your challenge is to guess the correct one. 6. Learn a new word a day and make sure you use it at least twice in conversation that day. 7. Read an article in a newspaper and summarize it in 5 short sentences. Finally, the best way to enhance verbal intelligence and develop word skills is with practice. Find different ways to communicate, pick up the phone instead of sending an email, speak to the store salesperson, join in conversation at work but don't butt in, interact with friends, family, colleagues, and the world around you. Make sure your voice is heard. Measure your progress so far. Think about something you have done or said, or some habit or quirk you have that is funny. If you can't think of anything right away, dig deep and search for the humor. It is there. Think like a comedian and poke fun at yourself. Don't put yourself down too much. You have a gentle laugh at your own expense. If you manage to do this, congratulations. Your communication skills have improved greatly. Laughter releases stress and tension and make it so much easier for you to relate to others and for others to relate to you. Section 5. Creativity. We are all born with creative spark, but rarely are we taught how to nurture it. The exercises in this section will enhance and develop your creative ability. They are designed to stimulate the neurotransmitters and create new neural connections in the right side of your brain, the area associated with creativity and intuition. If you feel you need encouragement or want helpful tips, you will find some creative solutions after the exercises. Before you start, check your level of creative ability at the moment. If you answer yes to more than 3 of the following 10 questions, you should pay special attention to this section. Do you find it hard to come up with new ideas? Are you a creature of habit? Have you worn the same clothes or had the same hairstyle for the last 5 years? Would you describe yourself as conventional? Do you sometimes wish you could be more spontaneous? At school, did you hate creative writing exercises or art subjects in general? Does change make you feel uncomfortable? Do you feel as if you are stuck in a rut? Does your work give you little scope to express yourself? Do you travel to the same vacation destination every year? Number 42. What if? Aim is to boost your imaginative skills. The key to using your imagination to the full is to act as if the imagined scene were real and already happening. Instead of pretending, imagine it as though you are truly experiencing it in the present as a real event in the here and now. Task number 1. Think of anything about your life that you would like to change or enhance. Sit back, relax, close your eyes and imagine how you would really like your life to be in that regard. Don't put any limitations on it. And don't shred it with doubt. Remember, no one else is going to judge this fantasy, and no one else is going to prevent it from happening. Only you have the power to stop it, make it real in your mind. Most of the time, we try to think rational, realistic thoughts, but for the following task, give yourself permission to think crazy thoughts. Be as freewheeling and as far-fetched as you like. Task 2. Write down 3 answers to each of the following questions. What if animals could talk? What if we never had to sleep? What if everyone lived to 500? What if I were a genius? What if I could read other people's minds? What if I were president? You may have thought of your own what ifs by now. Number 43. Brainstorming. Aim is to unlock your creative potential. Task: pick one or more of the following and come up with as many ideas as you can to solve the problem. When you think you have exhausted all possibilities, dig deeper and try to come up with a few more ideas. Aim to find at least 20 solutions for each problem. Bear in mind that no idea is too ridiculous when you brainstorm. Enjoy stimulating your brain to be creative. What would you do if your boss started making impossible demands on your time? You were on a flight to England and the passenger next to you kept talking to you when all you wanted to do was read a book. You were asked for new ways to improve on the design of women's tights. You wanted to buy something but couldn't afford it. You needed to stop worrying. You wanted to make a positive difference in the world. Someone you like was ignoring you and you wanted to get them to notice you. Now think of another problem, big or small, and brainstorm it. Number 44. Put it in your hands. Aim is to enhance creativity using a physical medium. Task: get your hands on some Play-Doh or modeling clay and try to make something that a friend or family member can recognize. This isn't about artistic skill but creative ability. Let's say you want to make a rabbit. There are many ways to suggest this that don't involve molding perfect looking rabbit. For example, making long ears and placing them on your head, or making buck teeth and putting them in your mouth. If modeling isn't your thing, here's another simple creative exercise anyone can do. Gather together some household odds and ends, such as nuts, bolts, cartons, yogurt containers, and so on. Then use them to make a sculpture. It doesn't have to look like anything in particular and can be purely abstract. Just try to make it look aesthetically pleasing. If you are stuck for ideas, just ask any 3 or 4-year-old to give you a few tips. Number 45. 50 words. Aim is to enhance creativity and concise communication. Task: write a complete story with a beginning, a middle, and an end in 50 words. This isn't impossible, give it a try. One way to do this would be to compose a longer story and then find ways to cut it down until you end up with something pithy and entertaining. Most people need several attempts at this, so don't give it up if it doesn't work the first time around. Alternatively, you could get 4 or 5 friends or family members to sit in a circle with the aim of working in cooperation to produce an interesting story. Decide how long each person's turn is going to last and who is going to start. You may also want to decide on the theme of your story and whether you are going to realism or fantasy. Number 46. Cloud watching. Aim is to expand your mind. Intuition and flashes of insight tend to emerge when you let your mind wander and give your imagination freedom to experiment. Task: go outside and let your imagination run free as you explore the shapes that clouds make in the sky. Don't stare too intentionally at the clouds, just look at them vaguely as though you were daydreaming. Just stay relaxed and see what shapes appear. If you look long enough, you will see images emerge. People often see faces, but you may notice other things. See how many different images you can identify and make a list out of them. Be sure to walk around and look at the whole sky because you will see different images from various angles. When a particular cloud formation catches your eye, ask yourself, what does that image look like to me? What does it mean to me? Warning: take great care to avoid looking directly at the sun. On a sunny day, wear good quality sunglasses and look in a part of the sky well away from the sun. Number 47. Doodlebug. Aim is to use doodling to unlock your creative subconscious. Task: take a piece of paper and doodle on it. Just let yourself go. You don't have to have a particular image in mind. The idea is to let your pencil roam freely over the page and just see what happens. Focus your mind on it and see where your imagination takes you. After a few minutes, take a look at what you've done. You may be surprised at how creative you have been. If drawing just isn't your thing, a variation on this theme is to cut pictures from magazines and make a collage. This may seem like something a child would do. You probably did it yourself when you were little, but can be very satisfying. The aim is not to produce a prize-winning piece of art, but simply to get in touch with your neglected creative side. Number 48. Go Dotty. Aim is to be more creative by forcing yourself to be uncreative. This task is fascinating and can be traced back to the paintings of ancient China. It aims to encourage creativity by forcing you to be as deliberately uncreative and unimaginative as possible. Sound interesting? Why not give it a try? Task number 1. Take a sheet of paper, black ink and brush. Your task is to put dots and splash of ink on the paper in a random way, without making a pattern. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Yet the harder you try not to make a pattern, the more a pattern will begin to emerge. Your creative powers just won't allow you to stifle them. When you have finished, here's another exercise. Task number 2. Fold a sheet of paper down the center. Put a drop of ink in the fold and then press the two sides together. Unfold it and see what shapes you have formed. What do you see in the design? While on the subject of dots, have a go at the following dot creativity task. Task number 3. On a clean sheet of paper, make a large black dot and ask yourself, what is it? Let your imagination go wild. A child might see a distant star, a squashed insect, and so on. Try to think like a child again. Number 49. Change contexts. Aim to dig deep to find a hidden well of creativity. Task: think of 30 possible uses of a paper clip. For example, in an office, a paper clip is normally used to hold paper together, but a thief might use it to pick a lock, or an engineer might use it to connect cables, and so on. By changing the context in which the paper clip is used, you investigate possibilities beyond the obvious and explore your creativity. The reason you need to come up with 30 possible uses is that after the first 5 and 6 ideas, you will find you have to dig much deeper to come up with more. You can repeat this exercise with any household item: the cardboard tube in a toilet paper roll, a spool, an empty plastic bottle, a light bulb, and so on. Number 50. Someone else's shoes. Aim to find new ways to overcome creative blocks. Task: instead of thinking about a problem from your own perspective, try to look at it from a different and unfamiliar point of view. In other words, think of the problem as though you were in someone else's shoes. You can choose anyone you like, someone you know, someone currently famous, such as a television celebrity, or even a historical figure, such as Napoleon or Queen Elizabeth. By seeing the familiar from an unfamiliar perspective, you encourage the brain to make original connections, and this can often trigger ideas that would not otherwise have occurred to you. If you find this technique helps you come up with creative solutions, explore other famous personalities and see what new ideas emerge from their perspective. Number 51. On the edge. Aim to tap into your semi-conscious state and allow your creativity to surface. In that twilight world when you are about to fall asleep, flashes of inspiration are more likely to surface. The problem is that most of us do then fall asleep and so forget what images we may have glimpsed. The surrealistic artist Salvador Dali found a way to overcome this. He would doze off in an armchair with a metal spoon in his hand held directly over a metal dish he had placed on the floor. As soon as he fell asleep, he dropped the spoon, and the clatter as it hit the dish would wake him up. He was then able to remember vividly what he had just experienced in his semi-conscious state. Task: have a go yourself. Make sure that when you wake up, you write down your ideas right away, or the inspiration will vanish from your memory. To boost your creativity, the best thing you can do is to believe you are creative. This will send your mind in the right direction. From now on, never question that you have a creative gift and use everything you say. Think, dream, write, go, do, feel, hear, taste, and smell to enhance your creativity. Hold on to all your ideas. Here are a few more things you can do to awaken your creativity. Keep a notebook or pen and paper handy and regularly write down your thoughts and ideas. Study your dreams. They can be a good source of inspiration. Have plenty of new experiences to feed your mind and your creativity. Listen to what is going on around you or to what other people say, as this can all trigger bright ideas. Laugh more. This is an excellent frame of mind to encourage creative thought. Don't take yourself too seriously either. Ego stifles creativity. Humor embellishes the unusual, and this is where creativity springs from. Pay attention to feelings of envy, as it is often a message from your creative core. What talent would you like to have? What has triggered your envy? How could you develop your creativity in that area? Quiet time. To reach your inner wellspring of creativity, you need to be able to set aside your ego temporarily to allow your intuition and inspiration to take center stage. So set aside some quiet time every day to reflect and let your mind drift and your imagination soar. Meditation is one way to do this. The exercises in section 1, concentration, will help measure your progress so far. At some point this week, read a science fiction or fantasy story. If you haven't got much free time this week, watch an episode of Doctor Who. Allow yourself to become immersed in the worlds that science fiction and fantasy writers have created. If you manage to do this, you are allowing yourself to contemplate the impossible and delve in parallel universes, and so have found a great way to unlock your creativity. In Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, the Queen of Hearts advised Alice to believe one impossible thing every day before breakfast. That's good advice. Section number 6, reaction time. Ever get the feeling it's now taking you that split second longer to react when you are driving, playing sports, or catching a falling vase? Or you're no longer so quick with a witty comeback? Well, there's so much you can do to stay quick, sharp, and witty for longer. The exercises in this section are all designed to improve hand-eye coordination, which in turn encourages the development of new neural pathways and connections and improves your reaction time and your ability to think fast under pressure. Your mission is to have a go at all of them and then a day later to come back and do them again to see if you can improve on your time and or your performance. Keep going until you are speed thinking and reacting like a Formula 1 racing driver. If you need a boost, you will find some helpful tips at the end of the section. Before you start, check your reactions as they are at the moment. If you answer yes to more than 3 of the following 10 questions, you should pay special attention to this section. Do you feel that the world is getting faster? Do you get beeped at more when you are driving? Do you find it hard to concentrate on one thing? Do you find yourself forgetting important numbers such as your PIN number? Do you regularly get lost because your sense of direction is poor? Do you often drop things? Do you think you are accident prone? Have you been getting more points on your driver's license recently? Are you hopeless at computer and PlayStation games? Do your friends often call you absent-minded? Number 52. Catch it. Aim is to test and improve your reaction times. Task: take a large piece of thick cardboard, some scissors and a ruler, and a pen or pencil. Cut the cardboard so that it is at least 8 inches long and 2 inches wide, and mark as illustrated. Write the numbers 40 to 200 the time in milliseconds on the card as shown. Numbering up from the bottom of the card, this is your reaction timer. Ask a friend to hold the reaction timer at the top. Line up your fingers with the bottom edge. Now ask your friend to drop the reaction timer without warning, and you must try to grab it between your fingers. Don't chase it, that's cheating. Now read off your score from the side. The number indicates your reaction time in milliseconds. Number 53. Speedy reading. Aim is to sharpen your scanning and observation skills. Task: choose any paragraph in a newspaper, set your timer to 1 minute, and use a pencil to cross out as quickly as you can all the T's you can find in that text. Now choose another paragraph and cross all the C's. Now go back and review what you have done. You will probably find that you missed some of the targeted letters. Try again the next day and keep practicing this exercise with different paragraphs and letters of the alphabet until you can strike out all the letters you are looking for. Number 54. Have a ball. Aim is to use fun ways to improve your reaction time. Task number 1. Cut out a variety of letters, small shapes, and colored pieces of paper and tape them into a bowl or bean bag. Then play catch with a friend or bounce the ball off a wall. If you are on your own, spotting and calling out one or more of the colors, shapes, or objects before you catch the ball. Task number 2. Find a chalkboard or piece of paper, draw a large square and divide it up to 16 smaller squares. Write the numbers 1 to 16 at random in the squares. Turn on your favorite music and point at each of the numbers in numerical order, keeping time with the beat. Try it again, this time working backward. Task number 3. Play Snap. Snap is a fun and simple card game that can help you boost your reaction time. The game is played by 2 players. Each player takes a turn to lay down a card face up. If any card is the same value as the one played previously, the first person to spot is called Snap and places a hand on top of the pile. He or she then takes all the cards that have been played so far. The aim is to make your opponent run out of cards. The key is to react as quickly as possible. 55. Eye exercises. Aim is to improve visual skills and reaction time and strengthen hand-eye coordination. Task number 1. Stand or sit in a relaxed posture. Hold a pencil at arm's length directly in front of your nose. Focus both eyes on the pencil and slowly move it towards you. Try to keep your eyes fixed on it all the way to your nose. Now move the pencil away from your face until it is at arm's length again. If your eyes drifted away from the pencil, begin the exercise again. For optimal effectiveness, repeat this exercise 10 times, but stop if your eyes get tired. Task number 2. Stand or sit in a relaxed posture. Hold the pencil 1 foot in front of your face. Focus both eyes on the pencil and move it in an arc to the right side of your head until it is level with your ear. As you do this, keep your eyes fixed on the pencil until it is out of your field of vision, but without moving your head. Now bring the pencil back to the starting position, trying to keep it in focus all the way. Now repeat the task, this time on the left side. Repeat this task 5 times on each side. It is not uncommon for the pencil tip to become blurry or appear double as it approaches your nose, but try to do your best to keep it in sharp focus all the time. Note, neither of these tasks will actually improve your vision. They are short, simple movements that can help relieve eye strain or fatigue, improve hand-eye coordination, and contribute to overall health of your eyes. In this way, they can help make you more productive while reading or working at the computer. The 2 main causes of eye strain. Number 56. Zap some aliens. Aim is to improve your mental and motor skills. Task: have a go at a PlayStation or computer game. If you have never played one before, you may feel a bit overwhelmed at first, but with practice you will soon be a whiz. Don't get hooked on computer games and PlayStation though, as too much time spent staring at a screen isn't good for your mind or your body. If beeps, buzzes, and explosions aren't your cup of tea, try some other fast-paced activities such as table tennis or badminton. The master control center for your reactions is, of course, your brain. In a split second, it processes information and then sends impulse signals to your muscles. Age brings little change in the speed of these impulses. What slows down is the speed at which information is processed. In other words, slow reactions are due to a sluggish brain, not a sluggish body. So how do you maintain rapid reactions? Stay mentally and physically fit. Just as giving your body a regular workout increases your strength, balance, and ability to move fast when you need to. When you constantly use your brain and push it to its full capacity, it stays quicker, more alert, and better able to react to new situations. Get your eyesight checked regularly. Before you can react mentally or physically, you must have an accurate picture of the world outside. For that, you rely on your vision. Regular eye tests are important, not only for checking whether you need glasses or that your lens prescription is up to date, but also spotting eye disorders at an early stage so that they can be treated promptly. Stop poisoning your brain. Steer clear of tobacco and non-medical drugs, and consume alcohol in moderation or not at all. Everybody knows that drunk drivers are slow to react behind the wheel, but just 1 or 2 drinks can be enough to send your reaction times plummeting. If you regularly drink alcohol, it could put your mind and body in a state of constant slow motion. Some medications can reduce your reaction times. If you are concerned about the effect of any medication you are taking, discuss it with your doctor to see if there is an effective alternative available. Tobacco too saps your speed in many ways, and you can find out why in part 2. Brain Basics 7 Steps to a Better Brain. Stop dithering. Often in life we are pressed for time. There is no opportunity to do research and you have to make a decision now. Inability to make a decision is a major cause of delayed reaction time. Secret agents go through rigorous training to be mentally prepared to cope with the unexpected. They use the training to make the best possible decision at the moment. You can do the same. If you are prone to dithering, mentally rehearse how you would respond in certain likely situations so that you are ready to deal with them should they rise. Think about your work or home life and any dull mass that worries you currently. Now make a list of possible scenarios, both worst case and best case ones. Ask yourself, what would happen if, and what would I do then? Practice making decisions so that if the situation actually occurs, you will be able to respond with speed and confidence. Catch some Z's. A good night's sleep is nature's way of recharging your mental batteries. Regular, good quality sleep is essential to keep your brain and body in good shape so that you stay mentally and physically alert and able to react quickly to events. You will find more information on the brain-boosting qualities of a good night's sleep in part 2. Measure your progress so far. Find 3 soft foam rubber balls and have a go at juggling them. Unless you are an experienced juggler, you will find juggling hard at first. But if you can keep practicing for at least 10 minutes every day, you will begin to notice an improvement. It doesn't matter what system you have for keeping the balls moving and in the air, just keep at it. Even if you can only juggle for a few seconds before you drop a ball, that's a great start. Studies have shown that learning to juggle has a positive effect on brain function by improving reaction time and boosting intelligence. Section 7. Mind Power. The deceptively simple exercises in this section can be repeated over and over again, anytime, anywhere. They are designed to stretch your mind, shake up your everyday routines, use your senses in unusual ways, and by doing so, stimulate both sides of your brain. You don't have to work through this section in any particular order, it's fine just to dip in as you please. For optimum benefits, try to do 1 or 2 of the exercises every day, more if you feel up to it. Your brain loves exercises, so if you want to make it happy, give your mind a regular workout. Remember, the more you exercise your brain, the fitter it becomes. Now that you are ready, let's get moving. 57. The mind dump. Aim is to clear your mind of mental clutter. Task: on a piece of paper, write down everything that is on your mind right now. Your long-term goals, short-term goals, your hopes, your fears, your regrets, what you have to do, any ideas you have, and so on. Writing down what's on your mind has the psychological effect of removing mental clutter. No matter how trivial, just take a snapshot of your thoughts as they are currently by writing them down. Don't go into detail, jot them down in point form. A word or 2 words for each thought will be fine. Keep going until you have nothing left to write. Then take a look at what's on your mind. Do you like what you see? 58. The 2-minute mind. Aim is to learn to focus with a full 100 volts of mental energy. Task: find a clock or watch with a second hand and place it directly in front of the television. Switch on the television and try to focus your attention on the movement of the second hand for 2 whole minutes. Don't allow the television to distract you. If you manage to successfully make the exercise more challenging by focusing half your attention on the second hand and half your attention on your own hands. Split your focus right down the middle. 59. Creative tension. Aim is to stay alert for longer. Task: if you find your mind starts to wander when you are trying to concentrate, try adopting an unfamiliar body posture. For example, change the way you place your legs, alter your facial expressions, or tighten your abdominal muscles or leg muscles. If you are with other people, copy someone else's posture. When you put your body in an unfamiliar position like this, it stops your body from getting lazy and makes it easier to keep your mind alert. Number 60. Mental gymnastics. Aim is to flex your mental calculating skills. Task 1. Think of a number and double it. Keep doubling it to see how high you can go. For example, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and so on. Task number 2. Recite all the numbers from 1 to 100. And at numbers that can be divided by 3, raise your left hand. At numbers that can be divided by 4, raise your right hand. At numbers that can be divided by 3 and 4, clap your hands. At numbers that can be divided by 5, stamp your feet. 61. Exercise with letters. Aim is to practice mind drills that encourage mental endurance. Task 1. Recite the alphabet forward and then backward. Task 2. Memorize the following verse. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Now recite the whole verse while also saying the numbers of letters in each word. For example, Mary 4 had 3, and so on. Recite the verse line by line backward. Repeat this exercise with Humpty Dumpty and Jack and Jill. Number 62. See it with your own eyes. Aim is to make your imagination more vivid. Task: close your eyes and visualize each of the following everyday items: a pair of scissors, your house key, a toothbrush, your favorite pair of jeans, your bedroom, your telephone or mobile phone, and a sunset. See them one by one in your mind's eye. Focus first on the shape and then fill in the details. Take your time and allow the image to become steady and sharp. Now picture in your mind the following imagery things: a unicorn, a fairy, a chocolate ocean, an ice cream mountain. What is the difference between your mental images of things you have actually seen and things you have never seen? Number 63. Mental music. Aim is to harmonize your thoughts. Task 1. Play in your mind's ear the following well-known pieces of music. Try to hear as much as you can. Task 2. Can you mentally hear what the following might sound like? Bright sounds, dark sounds, happy sounds, golden sounds, hollow sounds, rough sounds, smooth sounds. 64. Now wash your hands. Aim is to stimulate your sensual imagination. Task: relax in a comfortable chair and imagine you are washing your hands. Mentally go through every motion and detail. Feel the soap suds, hear the sound of the running water, smell the soap's fragrance, see the bubbles. Now wash your hands for real and compare the experience with what you saw in your mind's eye. 65. Bittersweet. Aim is to activate all your senses. Task: give your brain a jolt by imagining the taste and smell of the following foods all mixed together: rice pudding and chicken, milk and orange juice, pickles and ice cream, chocolate and mustard. Number 66. Let the words flow. Aim is to improve the way you formulate and express your ideas. Task 1. Invent meanings for the following nonsense words. When you are finished, why not make up some nonsense words for your own? Task 2. Describe the following as if talking to a Martian: snow, sex, chocolate, how to put on a pair of pants, the internet, the offside rule in soccer. Task 3. While holding a conversation, silently repeat to yourself what the other person said before you respond to him or her. This will give you a sense of what that person is really saying. Alternatively, and only if your friends and family work with you on this, spend a day not talking. Get your messages across using body language and other forms of non-verbal communication only. For a day, keep yourself free from words. Number 67. Off the wall. Aim is to get your mind moving in new directions. Task: imagine what it would be like to experience something you cannot perceive directly. For example, what is it like to be a member of the opposite sex? What is it like to be a butterfly? What is it like to be your brain? What is it like to be the first paragraph in a best-selling novel? What is it like to be the Indian Ocean? What is it like to be a tornado? What it is like to be eternity. Number 68. Strange but true. Aim is to stretch your mind with the paradoxical. Task: reflect on the following and his thoughts. At first, the things below don't seem to make sense, but if you spend time reflecting on them, you may be able to pick up their meaning. The source of these anecdotes is the wise but contrary Mullah Nasruddin, a favorite character in stories throughout the Middle East and Central Asia. A scholar being ferried by Nasruddin across a body of water chided Nasruddin for his ungrammatical language, and hearing he did not go to school, said, "What? Half your life has been wasted?" Shortly after, Nasruddin asked him, "Did you learn to swim?" "No, I did not," replied the scholar. "Well, in this case, it seems all your life has been wasted. We are sinking," said Nasruddin. Nasruddin is with his cronies drinking coffee. They are discussing death. When you are in your casket and friends and family are mourning upon you, what would you like to hear them say about you? The first crony says, "I would like to hear them say that I was a great doctor of my time and a great family man." The second says, "I would like to hear that I was a wonderful husband and school teacher who made a huge difference in our children for tomorrow." Nasruddin says, "I would like to hear them say, 'Look, he's moving.'" A monk said to Mullah Nasruddin, "I am so detached that I never think of myself, only of others." Nasruddin responded, "I am so objective that I can look at myself as if I were another person, so I can afford to think of myself." Mullah Nasruddin ran into a merchant's tent and asked the owner, "Have you ever seen me before?" "No, never," he replied. Then how do you know it's me? Nasruddin cried. Number 69. Oxymorons. Aim is to stretch the mind by reflecting on words that both puzzle and make sense at the same time. Task. Oxymorons are a combination of words that when put together seem contradictory or incongruous, such as cruel kindness or jumbo shrimp. The following expressions are so well known that you may not realize at first that they are oxymorons, but if you roll the words around in your mind for a few moments, you will pick up the often subtle contradictions. Number 70. Brain teasers. Aim is to develop intuitive thinking. Task. Take some time to ponder the following questions. Don't try to approach them logically, as they can only be understood intuitively. What is the sound of one hand clapping? What did you look like before you were born? Is the glass half empty or half full? Who are you? If a tree falls in the forest and there is no one around to hear it, does it make a sound? Measure your progress so far. If you have done at least one of the following today or within the last few days, you are making steady progress with your mental workouts. Switch off your mobile phone and the television to concentrate on something else. Write your thoughts down in a diary or journal. Balance your finances without using a calculator. Spoken to someone in person rather than using email. Played a board game. Read an interesting book or newspaper, magazine. Number 71. Can you recall? Aim is to improve your memory using simple exercises. Task. Try to recall. What were you thinking about 5 minutes ago? What you were thinking about 1 hour ago? What were you doing this time yesterday? What you had for breakfast 7 days ago? What you wore last weekend? Something you told yourself you would never forget. Number 72. Empty your cup. Aim is to hone right-brained, intuitive skills by viewing the world from a new perspective. Task. Read the following story. What can you learn from it? A student visited a Zen master to ask him about Zen. As is the custom, the master served tea. He poured the student's cup to the brim, and then he kept on pouring. The student looked on in astonishment as the tea overflowed. Finally, he said, "The cup is full, no more will go in." The master stopped pouring, looked at the student, smiled, and said, "Like this cup, you are full of your own ideas and opinions and speculations. How can I teach you until you empty your cup?" Number 73. Vital learning. Aim is to understand the meaning of wisdom. Task. Answer the following. What 5 things that you have learned in your life would you want to pass on to your grandchildren? List 5 questions that everyone should be able to answer if they want to be considered a wise human being. Number 74. Measuring up. Aim is to test observational skills and spatial awareness. Task. Using paper and a pencil, draw the following without measuring them. A standard first-class postage stamp. A line as long as your foot. A circle the same size as a quarter. A rectangle the same size as your mobile phone. A rectangle the same size as your credit card. Now compare your drawings with the actual objects to see how observant you are and how accurately you perceive the world. If they were way off the mark, you need to sharpen your observational skills and take time to notice the tiny details of your life. Number 75. Try something new. Aim is to stretch the mind by making familiar experiences unfamiliar. Task. Clasp your hands with fingers interlaced. See which thumb is on top, the right or the left. Try clasping your hands a different way. Now fold your arms and notice which arm is on top, right or left. Try folding them the other way. List 5 other things you do every day in exactly the same way, such as crossing your legs or sitting on the same sofa seat. Think about how you can do these things differently. Number 76. Stop looking back. Aim is to break free of regressive thought patterns. Task. For 1 day, monitor your thoughts and notice how often you think about past events. We spend a lot of our time living in the past, yet the brain craves new ideas and different experiences. An antidote to regressive thinking is to do a mind power exercise for 5 or 10 minutes every day. Number 77. Backward spelling. Aim is to develop clarity of thinking using simple mind stretching techniques. Task 1. Choose a book or a newspaper and select 5 4-letter words, 5 5-letter words, and 5 6-letter words. Beginning with the 4-letter words, glance at the first word, then turn away and spell it backward out loud. Do this for each word in your list. If you find this easy, try 7, 8, 9 or 10 letter words. If you manage to do this task, try the next one. Task 2. At the end of the day, just before you go to bed, try to remember the events of your day, only working backward. In other words, start with this evening's events and work back to the moment when you woke up this morning. Number 78. Opposite directions. Aim is to improve hand-eye coordination. Task 1. Pat your stomach with your right hand and make an imaginary circle above your head with your left hand. Now swap hands. You will find one way more difficult than the other. Keep practicing until you find both ways easy. When you have mastered this, here's something else your brain will love. Task 2. While sitting at your desk, make clockwise circles with your right foot. While you are doing this, draw the figure 6 in the air with your right hand. Your foot will start circling in a counterclockwise direction. Keep practicing until you can stop your foot from changing its direction. Number 79. 2 sides to every story. Aim is to view yourself in a completely different light. Task. Take a sheet of paper and a pencil and list 6 words that describe you, the qualities that make you the person you think you are. Now take another sheet of paper and write 6 more words that you also feel describe yourself. But this time use your other hand to write. You will find this tricky and clumsy at first. When you have finished, compare both lists. In most cases, the words in the first list will be longer and more impersonal, and the words in the second list more emotional and imaginative. This is because the first list came from your left brain and the second list came from your right brain. It's easier to learn when both sides of your brain are activated. Take a look at your list again and see how the qualities in the first list can be softened and balanced by the qualities in the second and vice versa. Number 80. On the other hand, aim is to improve manual dexterity by using your non-dominant hand. Task. Try the following using your left hand if you are right-handed or your right hand if you are left-handed. Brush your teeth. Pick up a glass, mug or cup and drink from it. Comb your hair. Write a short note or shopping list. Get dressed using only your non-dominant hand. Eat a meal with knife and fork in opposite hands. Number 81. Really seeing. Aim is to sharpen your observational skills. Task. Take a sheet of paper and a pen or pencil and list every object that you see around you, big and small. You will need lots of time for this. Use your eyes to really see. Number 82. Even-handed. Aim is to become ambidextrous by using both hands and both parts of your brain at the same time. Task 1. Take a piece of paper and a pencil. Pick up the pencil in both hands and write your name using both hands at the same time. Task 2. Take a second pencil and write your first name with your left hand and your last name with your right hand, again at the same time. Task 3. Hold the paper against your forehead and write your last name with your left hand if you are right-handed, or your first name with your right hand if you are left-handed. The results may surprise you. Number 83. Sudoku game. Aim to let logic alone be your guide. Task. Every column, every row, and every 3x3 mini grid must be filled in with the numbers from 1 to 9. Number 84. Say it out loud. Aim is to stimulate your brain by reading out loud. You use different parts of your brain when you are reading out loud and when you are reading silently. You may find that hearing the words as well as seeing them makes a big difference to your understanding. Task. The next time you open an email or a letter, instead of reading it silently, say it out loud and see if this alters the meaning in any way. Number 85. Master brain. Aim is to discover new ways to expand your knowledge. Task. Learn how to spell brain in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Dutch, and as many other languages as you can find. Measure your progress so far. If you have done at least one of the following today or in the last few days, you are increasing your brain power. Taking a different route to work, brush your teeth using your non-dominant hand, switch your watch to the other wrist, worn a color you never normally wear, thought about what you want to achieve tomorrow. Number 86. Close your eyes. Aim is to stimulate and enhance your perception of touch. Task. In the morning, try to get dressed with your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed and feel your way around using your sense of touch and your spatial memory alone. Take your time dressing. To avoid bumping your head on closet doors, prepare the night before by laying your clothes out ready for the morning. Closing your eyes gives your brain an opportunity to create new associations. Notice the feel of the clothes and concentrate on all the other senses that are diminished when you have your eyes open. Number 87. Get lost. Aim to broaden your mind with the unfamiliar. Task. Take a different route today, for example, to your workplace, the grocery store, school, or when visiting a friend or relative. It doesn't matter whether you walk or drive. The important thing is that you try something new. Unfamiliar sights, sounds, and smells stimulate all your senses. If you get lost along the way, all the better. You are using spatial awareness to get you back in the right direction. Number 88. Word letters. Aim is to challenge the part of your brain that deals with language. Task. Fill in the step of each letter below with a word, changing one letter as you climb so that you end up with the final word. Each step on the letter must be a valid word. For example, turn calm into rage. Calm, palm, pale, page, rage. This type of puzzle was invented in 1878 by Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland. Number 89. Work experience. Aim to expand your mental horizons by seeing your world through someone else's eyes. Task. Invite someone new into your home or workplace for a couple of hours. You may need to clear it with your boss and colleagues first. The first act of explaining your lifestyle or way of working to others will do wonders for your people skill. You will also get a fresh perspective on everything that you have taken for granted in your daily life. Number 90. Elementary logic. Aim. Pure logic needs to be applied here. Don't be distracted by reality or personal opinion. Task. By looking at the statements below, can you make reasonable conclusions in each case as shown by the following examples? All dogs understand Spanish. Some cats are dogs. Conclusion. Some cats understand Spanish. It's perfectly reasonable if you let logic alone be your guide, but cats may be dogs, and either animal can understand Spanish. Number 91. Keep it in the family. Aim. Nothing clever here. You just need to think logically. Task. What is the smallest group of relatives that could contain all of the following family relationships? Aunt, brother, cousin, daughter, mother, nephew, niece, sister, uncle, father, and son. Number 92. Focus on food. Aim is to enhance your sensory perception of food. Task. Eat in silence. There must be no TV, no chatter, and no distractions. Simply focus on the taste, smell, and texture of the food you are eating. Freed from all other distractions, your mind is able to give its full attention to the four well-known taste sensations: salty, sweet, sour, and bitter. You might even try holding your nose occasionally, as it puts your sense of taste center stage. With the sense of smell blocked, you can't recognize flavor, and this allows you to focus on other sensations such as mouthfeel, temperature, texture, and crunchiness. Number 93. Switch seats. Aim is to change your mental perspective by changing your physical view. Task. In a different seat at dinner time or when watching television. If you share your home with others, you may encounter some resistance at first, as most people have favorite seats, but they may all gain something from the novelty of the experience. Switching seats forces you to change view of the room, the position you occupy in it, and how you interact with other people. Simply changing seats will challenge and rework old, established mental associations and add a spark to your thought processes. Number 94. Exercise outdoors. Aim is to give both brain and body a workout at the same time. Task. Take some exercise out in the open. You could start with a few simple exercises in the garden, such as skipping, jogging in place, or jumping jacks. Then try walking, jogging, running, or cycling in a nearby park or recreational area. Outdoor exercising stimulates the blood circulation and so improves the flow of oxygen and nutrients to the brain. And the novel multisensory experience will stimulate the development of new neural pathways in the brain. Even if you exercise regularly in a gym, you will benefit by breaking your routine every now and again and exercising outdoors instead. Your brain thrives on novelty and unpredictability. Number 95. Upside down. Aim is to strengthen your brain by encouraging it to make sense of the unfamiliar. Task. Wear your watch upside down or on the opposite wrist. You could also try reading upside down. Start with a few sentences and gradually move on to whole paragraphs as you become more adept. Number 96. Listen while you work. Aim is to expand the mind and make more use of leisure and commuting time. Task. Listen to audiobooks whenever you have spare listening time. There are many occasions when you are doing tasks that do not take all your attention. They include commuting by bus, train, or car, especially when stuck in traffic jams, or when doing household chores or DIY. A good way to use the spare time productively and learn something new is to listen to audiobooks. You can find a wide selection of titles, both fiction and non-fiction, on tape or compact disc at public libraries, in bookstores, or via online suppliers. Number 97. Sit up straight. Aim is to improve posture and brain power at the same time. Task: sit up straight and hold that position. Good posture affects your state of mind and helps you think more clearly. Try the following experiment and prove this to yourself. Recite the 13 times table in your head. First, while slouching with your mouth open, then while sitting up straight with your lips together. You will get the point. Number 98. Did you know? Aim is to encourage your curiosity. Task: ponder the following. Shakespeare invented the words assassination and bump. Cows and horses sleep standing up. If you get the recommended 8 hours sleep every night, it means you are asleep for 4 months each year. Flying fish do not actually fly. Instead, they glide over the water. There are 8 species of bear in the world. There are more than 500 active volcanoes in the world. Most people collect stamps than any other item. In the China Sea and Western Pacific, hurricanes are known as typhoons. In some parts of Argentina, they speak Welsh. The word coffee was once a term for wine. The geographical heart of Europe is Lithuania. The Austrians invented the croissant. Dolphins are the only other mammals beside humans that have sex for fun. Number 99. Get word savvy. Aim is to build your vocabulary. Task: look up a new word in the dictionary every day and learn it. Say it out loud and then use it in a sentence. A good starting point is to sign up to the Word of the Day online dictionary, playing Scrabble regularly, or doing a daily crossword work too. Number 100. Box clever. Aim is to make watching television more challenging for the brain. Too much television turns your brain to mush. The typical adult watches around 28 hours of TV per week. Count up the amount of time you spend watching television, and if it is averaged out at more than 1 or 2 hours a day, find ways to cut down. The following task can help you get the most out of the time you spend in front of the TV. Task: try out some of the new ideas below. Play a challenging board game or play along with a TV game that tests your mental powers. When listening to an interview, take note of the number of times the interview says If you hear an unfamiliar word, look it up in the dictionary. During the commercial break, try to think up new names for all the products. Watch the news, and when it is over, try to recall all the topics that were covered. Number 101. Audiovisual. Aim is to exercise both brain hemispheres and create new neural connections by reading aloud. Task: read aloud. Just a minute or so a day spent reading aloud will benefit the brain. The tougher the title, the better. For best results, speak clearly and quickly. Of course, silent reading helps improve brain functions too, so read as much as you can about as wide a range of subjects as possible. Books exercises your brain, provide inspiration, and fill you with information that allows you to make creative connections more easily. Measure your progress so far. If you have done at least one of the following today or over the last few days, you are making your brain happy. Try to keep it that way. Attempted 2 of the exercises in this book. Played a game of chess. Finished a crossword puzzle. Most out of your web surfing by going to a site such as Wikipedia and searching for any topic that interests you. Changed a routine. Taken up a new hobby. Disagreed with someone without losing your temper. Remembered a dream that you had the previous night. Learned something new. Imagined the impossible.